looking ahead to this upcoming slate, Dad, which game are you most excited to see of these first-round matchups?
Well, I think the Monday nighter, Rams and Vikings. Vikings, again, all this made about a 14-win team being a fifth seed. And this was the greatest end of the regular season matchup with Detroit and Minnesota, the two winningest teams, the winner with the number one seed, and the loser having to go on, not only be the fifth seed, but go on the road. So can the Vikings live up to their 14-win season and make a run in this? Now, again, if they get the win against the Rams, they're going right back to Detroit. Yes. So that will be very, very interesting. But that, and the Rams rested all their offensive starters in their game against Seattle, lost that, and got that seed, the fourth seed, and Tampa Bay got the third seed with their win. So that's a game I'm looking forward to the most. Can Minnesota be able to make a run considering what their record is? And listen, Detroit called that game. Detroit's defense was the weakest link of Detroit offense, defense, Minnesota offense, defense, and that weakest link played the strongest. They played phenomenal. With all the players they lost, Aaron Glenn drew up a masterpiece on the defensive side of the ball. And the Vikings, A, didn't play well, and B, didn't play well because of Detroit. But the Vikings, listen, have 14 wins for a reason. They were good. They're a really, really good team. So I'm interested if they're going to be able to keep it going or if they're going to be a one and done.
Yeah, really interesting, Dad. The Vikings only a 1.5-point favorite on the road in this game coming off that. Do you think that's an adjustment to what we saw on that Sunday night game from them? Because you look at this matchup, the things that bothered Sam Darnold and this Vikings outfit in that game tended to be the blitz. And we know in terms of blitz percentage right now in the NFL, you look at a team, the Detroit Lions, second behind only the Minnesota Vikings in terms of blitz percentage. The Rams on the other side, 10th fewest. They get home and they eat with Jared Verse, Braden Fisk in this pass rush, really dominating in the four-man pass rush here. And that's an area where it seems like while Sam Darnold's been great under pressure and against the blitz for the majority of the season, we know they didn't face a ton of blitz overall on the season, fourth fewest amount of blitz faced in the NFL. So how do you factor that into the matchup? And do you think that's a hangover from that Sunday night game that's got that line this low?
I factor in that Minnesota plays well against all teams but Detroit. Now, they played well against Detroit in the first game of the season. Sure. It took a Jake Bates field goal with 15 seconds to go to win at 31-29. But you mentioned Sam Darnold throwing well against the blitz against every other team but Detroit. So there seems to be a matchup issue going on there. And even without the blitz, Sam was off in that game. He had overthrows in that game. He had underthrows in that game. He was off in that game. And now I'm not going to say, he reverted back to the old Sam Darnold, because he had a monster year. And again, it's against all other teams but Detroit. So I think they're going to do well against the Rams. I think the offense is unbelievably explosive, and the defense can get home as well with their blitz. Now, blitzing Matthew Stafford, and the weapons that he has, we'll be interested to see how they answer the bell.